What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy. For you ends up like Beezy, man. But make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Link in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be going live on Twitch tonight, but tomorrow, you know, we can't go live on Twitch tonight because I've been so busy with setting up the franchise, bro. Busy on the Discord, just trying to get everything, bro, set up, bro, for tomorrow, bro. So, you know, so I've been busy with that. So, you know, we will be back live on Twitch tomorrow. You know what I mean? We're gonna be live on Twitch every single day going forward until November 5th. I think that's when the franchise ends because we're doing 4 seasons. But if you do want to join the Madden 26 franchise, Discord link is in the description down below. You most likely will have to wait in the waiting list tab, bro. But, you know, just tell me if you want to join, if you're really serious about it, bro, and I'll get you locked in. We got 4 scary, true fall horror stories, man. I never been a big summer guy. Fall is cool. You know, this Halloween, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go buy a bunch of candy and just sit my black self up in here, bro, and just watch some scary movies. You know what I'm saying? It's something about Halloween. I like Halloween. I'm sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's something about Halloween. I like Halloween. My parents never used to let me celebrate Halloween. I feel like my parents is like, they used to look too deep in things sometimes. I'm like, bro, like, you know, I used to celebrate. I used to sneak and just celebrate it. Like with my boy Reagan, I ain't used to freaking dress up in Halloween costumes. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I used to go out, freaking get candy and all type of stuff. I don't see the problem, bro. I feel like people would just be too in it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, Halloween not about no being demonic, bro. None of that, bro. Halloween just, bro, kids just being kids, dressing up as their favorite people and go and get freaking like candy, bro. I can't stand people that just try to be too deep. Like, bro, it's not that deep, bro. We're not doing it for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you thinking in it, we're not doing it for that reason. It's just little kids dressing up as their favorite character, bro, and going trick-or-treat. That's all it is, bro. My mom was like, yeah, that demonic stuff. I'm like, mom, too deep. I ever met Christians that just be too deep sometimes, bro, that can't have fun? I made a vow to myself, I would not be with a Christian woman that can't have fun. You know what I'm saying? I strongly believe that God don't have a problem with us having fun. If I'm not sinning, bro, what's the problem, bro? I can't be with no woman, bro, that judge me every time I'm doing something. I feel like she judging me and all. I can't be with that. I'm a Christian man. I'm a God-fearing man, too. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have fun. I don't think God care about that. I think God put us in this world to have fun. As long as I ain't sinning, what the freak the problem is? You know what I'm saying? I just be real, but I can't be with no. I'm gonna let my kids celebrate Halloween. I'm gonna let my kids be kids, bro. Some of y'all gotta let y'all kids be kids, bro. For real. That's why y'all kids never be coming back visiting y'all, bro. Let your kids be kids, bro. Let your kids dress up, bro, as Halloween. You know you ain't celebrating that. Let your kids dress up at Halloween, bro, and trick or treat, bro. Let your kids be kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? Golly. Let your kids celebrate Christmas. You know, all the little, you trying to get deep, bro, the pagan holidays, bro. Bro, Christmas is about giving, bro. We giving around this thing, bro. It's about family time, bro. It's about gifts, bro. All that little stuff you trying to get into, I realize what you're saying, bro, but we ain't celebrating it because of that. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating it, giving, bro, and having family time. Same thing for Thanksgiving, bro. Family gathering, bro, and eating, just being thankful, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, gang. Like Easter, bro. Easter egg hunting, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with celebrating holidays. You know what I mean? People that don't want to celebrate holiday, you try to get too deep and stuff. But you only got one life, bro. You know what I mean? Live your life, bro. All that little trying to get deep and trying to be different and all that, bro. Shut up with all that, bro. I just don't be getting that junk sometimes. You feel like celebrate holidays, bro. We not celebrating because of that reason, bro. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating, bro, to spend time with family, bro. Give. I just don't like being around too deep people. I'm deep, bro, but I don't like being around like too deep people. The type of people can't have fun, bro.
Clearly, as it always stuck in my mind whenever I think about playing hide and seek in the dark, or whenever I pass by an alleyway. I'll never forget what happened. It was in the fall, the start of October, and me and my 3 siblings went to visit my mom at her apartment. I have a sister, I'll call her Jess, and my 2 brothers, I'll call them Mike and Eli. My parents got into a divorce 2 years before that, and we barely saw my mother. So this was a way for our dad to be a good parent and allow us to visit, even though he wasn't required to. My mom's apartment was in the sketchy part of town. A lot of buildings around the apartments, but it always felt so empty, even with it being so crowded. My mom's apartment was next to an alleyway, which was also considered an entrance over to the apartment complex itself. That's what I mean when I say it was in a sketchy area. If you were to search around for it, you probably wouldn't even be able to find it, unless you were to go driving down a long dark alleyway. My mom's apartment was on the second story, and my siblings and I were always excited whenever we had the chance to visit her. I loved my mom. She was small and cozy. Her apartment too was also very comfortable. It reminded me of my grandma's place, with soft furniture, unnecessary decor laying around. Another great thing about her apartment is her neighbors. A while back when we visited, we made friends with the neighbors downstairs, a boy and a girl, who I'll call Zach and Chi-Chi.
What type of Chi-Chi apartment is this? No, I mean, this is an apartment from hell. You know, I'm looking like, yeah, you're dang right it looks empty. You know what I'm saying? What type of, I'm like, hold on, what going on around here? What type of apartment complex is that, boy?
Zach and I played a lot in the parking lot area of the apartment complex.
I don't like the way this look right here.
Typical games like cops and robbers, tag, and kickball. But this day in particular, we decided since it was October near Halloween, we should play hide and seek. He came up with the idea of playing it outside at night. My siblings of course wanted to join, and we all decided that at 9 o'clock, we'd all leave our rooms and go play. Since it was October, night came by pretty fast, and so did the dark, which resulted in pretty spooky lighting that we wanted to have. It was me, Zach, Chi-Chi, my sister, and my two brothers all playing. So once it hit 9 o'clock, we all did exactly as planned and left our rooms and joined each other outside. It was quite dark around the corners of the building, but the tall lampposts lit the parking lot with its orange rusty color. Whenever we play a game involving a tagger or seeker, we did that little game of bubblegum in a dish. So tonight we did just—
I ain't gonna lie, bro, you giving me so many memories, bro. Like, you talking about kickball, bubblegum in a dish. Man, you talking about hide and seek, Marco Polos. I used to be scared to play Marco Polo. They say Marco Polo, and then you just hear a freaking nigga say Polo in the dark. That joint used to scare the freak. I used to hate being Marco. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not finna be Marco. I'm gonna be Polo. I'm gonna be the one screaming out Polo. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna be saying Marco. Well, I used to be a scared little child, boy. I used to be scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm talking about, I told y'all, bro. Me sleeping in the dark, impossible. Mama nightlight. Mama nightlight. I wouldn't sleep without the light on. I wouldn't sleep without the nightlight. I ain't gonna lie. It was just something about when I was little, that dark was just too dark. Now since I'm grown and everything, it's like now the dark is like, I don't really care. It don't bother me. But something about when you little, y'all, am I tripping? Yeah. I sleep my TV off and everything, like pitch black, and it don't bother me. But it's just not like, it's not dark like it used to be. You feel me? Like, it was just like, when I was a kid, it was like demon dark. It was like on some, when I was a kid, something felt different about that dark. I don't know what the fuck. And this dark and the kid dark, oh, them two for different darks. It felt like I was being watched in that dark. You know what I'm saying? I used to be under the covers like this. I felt like I was surrounded by demons. No cap. There's something about that dark when I was little, boy. My brother already knew what the freak it was. Every time he heard knocking on the door, that nigga ain't ask who is it. That boy opened the door and, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Bro, man. You know what I'm saying? Big Bro used to let me in the room and sleep with him, man. You know what I mean? Same thing for my sister, bro. Now I'm the youngest, bro. You feel me? So, you know, they used to always show me pity, bro. You feel me? You know, I used to be freaking scared as a mug, boy.
And we did it until Zach became the seeker. Everyone ran off into their little hiding spots, not too far off the complex boundaries, but not only limited to the parking lot itself. I remember I ran with my sister Jess, who I always stuck along with because she was the oldest. We ran over nearby the back of the apartment building, over by the large garbage tins. The only way to go here was to enter the long alleyway and go further down until the end of the building was exposed. And that's what we did. We figured that they wouldn't go all the way over here, so it was the perfect spot. As Zach yelled ready or not, the game began. At first it was exciting, but the excitement quickly went away once we actually started to just wait for him to find us. A lot of silence, except the noise of the night. I started to get impatient, and so did my sister, but she whispered to me that they eventually will come by and find us. But a couple minutes later, we started to get bored. I did, at least. I said, maybe we hid too well, and she laughed. She told me that maybe we should just go and forfeit since it's becoming a little late. We started to get through the garbage bags and aside the large garbage tins, and then we were dead middle of the alleyway. That's when my heart dropped. I faced the end of the alley and had a figure standing in the alley light. I knew it wasn't anyone I knew, since the person was extremely tall, as if someone put on extra inches in their shoes to look taller.
How the freak he know? How did he know like you was finna be right? He looking right at me. Like, how did he know you was finna be in that alley in that time? Like, bro, just standing in the middle of the street like a madman.
Tall, as if someone put on extra inches in their shoes to look taller. And the light made it hard to see their face since it was directly from the top, and so their hair made a large shadow on it. But then I realized something. Their hair, it was an afro, and it was colorful, like a clown wig. The worst thought came into my mind. It was a clown, and looking at the clothing, it did appear to be a clown. It wasn't even Halloween yet, so why was there someone dressed as a clown in the alleyway? What was scary was that the person just stood there, not moving a single muscle, and they were staring right at us. My sister pulled me back, seeing that there was something strange going on. She told me we should probably go back with the others, and so we did. We went down the long alleyway in hopes to find our friends and brothers. Luckily, we found one of my brothers, Mike, and then Chi-Chi was also there. Mike was confused as to why we were just walking out in the open. He thought we were still playing. We told them that we saw something weird, and we explained the weird guy dressed as a clown at the end of the alleyway. Where we were at was still technically in view of the clown, and so we moved aside to show them what we saw. And that's when we started to realize the situation was much more than we thought it was. The clown was closer, watching us and waving at us.
The freak, what?
Now we saw its face.
Get the freak out of there.
It wasn't normal makeup. It was all black, like they didn't want their face to be seen. The only feature we could notice was their eyes, which to me, as a kid, made it a lot more scary. And then suddenly Chi-Chi screamed. We turned around to her, and she screamed out loud, "There's another person watching us."
What?
She was right. It was another person, also a clown, but with green hair and longer legs. We knew at this moment we had to go.
Get the freak out of there.
Chi-Chi and Mike ran away, and we didn't hesitate to follow. Chi-Chi ran to her room, and we ran upstairs to ours. We then met up with Eli, who was already in the room talking to our mom. Our mom gave us the biggest hugs, and we were confused. Like, did she know what happened? Eli explained that he told our mom what happened to him. Turns out, Eli was hiding in the apartment complex's courtyard, and he heard footsteps thinking it was Zach. He hid behind the bush and barely saw the person as they stepped in front. He thought Zach was about to catch him, but then he heard Zach's voice calling Eli. Eli turned and was found by Zach, saying, "I found you." That's when he turned back and looked up, and a clown was looking directly down at him. Eli ran away with Zach, and they both went to his apartment to tell his parents what happened. We explained what happened to us.
Crazy.
And our mom was happy that we were all okay. I wished it ended there, but it didn't.
John, crazy, boy. And you know, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, you got some crazy people out here, boy. Some crazy people out here, man. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I used to go outside with Reagan, bro, I ain't never, like, I don't know, my mama and dad ain't used to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I used to be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no weird encounter being outside. I ain't never had no weird encounter being outside. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to think of something. We got a lot of ish, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. We got a lot of ish. I ain't never had no weird encounter being outside for real. I mean, it was this one encounter, one story. I think it was, I forgot who it was. You know, cause we used to jump over this gate all the time. Me and Reagan, I told you, we was just bad, bro. You feel me? Y'all know about it. I bring up bro all the time. We used to jump over this gate. And I told y'all, bro, we should do things, bro, that can get us killed today, like trespassing. I'm like jumping over the gate, being in people's backyard. And you know, we used to just always be in the backyard of this one house. You know what I'm saying? Always one house. We used to tease their dog, bro. Their dog used to be off a leash, bro. You know what I'm saying? We used to just tease their dog and play with their dog, bro. So basically, you know what I'm saying? One day, I think it was Reagan. Reagan said, cause we had this little hole in the gate. And Reagan was saying that he seen somebody like pointing a gun out in the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing somebody pointing a gun out in the gate, like pointing a gun out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, bro, you feel me? Reagan he wasn't the type to lie, bro. Then, but that right there, that probably was like the scariest thing. I ain't see it, but he told me about it and it's kind of like, as a kid, it's kind of scary because, like, dang, we jumping over the gate. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, bro, like, what you thinking? Your dog's barking and running towards something. They constantly doing that. You know what I'm saying? What you thinking, bro? You think you got some type of intruder or something? Like, we should do crazy stuff, bro. I be thinking about it. I'll be like, bro, what the freak was we doing, bro?
Later that night, everyone was asleep, but I got thirsty. In the middle of the night...
Bro, don't tell me the clown in the house. Do not tell me the clown is in the house. The clown in the house!
Went to get a bottle of water from the fridge.
Bro, look. I understand what type of thirst he talking about. Y'all, that's that type of thirst, like, man, I don't want to get up, man. You feel me? I don't want to go out in the dark. You know what I mean? Everybody's sleep is dark, man. I'm going to hold this thirst. But that's the type of thirst you just cannot, you can't, like, you got to get up and get some water. Y'all know them type of thirsts, bro, where you got to get up and get some water, bro. It's unbearable. You can't go back to sleep until you get some water, bro.
In the middle of the night, I went to get a bottle of water from the fridge, and I heard noise coming from outside the window. And looking back now as an adult, it was very stupid of me, but I went to the noise. It was weird. I remember questioning how was it possible for something to be knocking against the window, especially at the second floor. This part is what really scared the living shit out of me. When I lifted up the blinds, I came face to face with the clown. The same exact clown my sister and I saw. He was looking right at me, and that's when I screamed and ran to my mom. She came out, and when I went to show her what I saw, like a cliche from a horror movie, it was gone before she could see it. Luckily, my mom was a good mother, and she believed me. Ever since that day, I never liked playing hide and seek in the dark, and I've hated alleyways since. I don't know how that person got up at the window. I guess they climbed, but I'm glad that nothing really happened that night besides a few scares.
Shoot, what? That man must have climbed the ladder or something. That's crazy right now.
The story I'm about to tell you happened to me when I was 11. I was in 6th grade. The school I attended was across the street from a beat-up looking house that honestly scared the living shit out of me as a kid. It just looked old and disgusting, and I couldn't understand why, if someone was living there, why were they okay with how the outside of their house looked? Whenever me and my friends passed by that house on our way home from school...
Better stay off that lawn! Mr. Nevercracker, stay on my lawn! You better not step foot on that lawn. You better not step foot on that lawn. I don't know why they just remind me of Monster House, bro. Y'all gotta watch Monster House, bro. That's what I'm saying. Look, when I get some kids, man, I'm gonna show my kids, bro, the movies we grew up on. He ain't gonna grow up. He or she not gonna grow up, bro, on the movies that's getting played today. Man, I'm just saying, y'all, bro, and this is off topic, man. Monster House, man. If you ain't never watched Monster House, man, man, we had the movies back then, but we had them shows. I don't watch no these shows now, man. I watch our shows, bro. Our shows, our movies, bro. Like, it was just different, bro. It was just something different about our movies and shows, bro.
They'd make fun of it. I would scold them and say that the owner of the house wouldn't be too happy to see a couple of middle schoolers making fun of a place where they lived.
All right, Mr. Nevercrack.
Of course, my friends made fun of me for being scared of a reaction. I was a pretty big scaredy cat as a kid, seemingly afraid of an adult's angry reaction all the time, so they were not wrong. Passing that house was okay at first, but once October came and my friends were staying after school for the programs they did, things started going downhill from there. It started in the 2nd week of October, my first time walking home from school alone in a while. As per usual, I walked by that creepy house, but this time, something was off and different. As I passed, I noticed someone from the house window was standing still, seemingly staring directly at me as I walked by. I was freaked out by that, of course, but nothing happened besides that, so I brushed it off. But it kept happening as the days went by with me walking home from school, with that same person watching me from their window. I couldn't tell if they were a male or female, but it didn't matter to me. I was scared shitless about being watched. I would tell my friends about it, and they would shrug it off and say that maybe the person was playing an early Halloween trick on me and trying to purposely scare me. I believed them, and would scold myself for being scared easily. But a week before Halloween, as I'm doing my usual walking home alone from school motto, I noticed the tall silhouette of a figure standing on the porch of that house, watching me walk by. I was scared, but I tried to be calm and brave and walked past the house. That's when things took a bad turn. As I walk by, the figure suddenly flies down the steps and starts to chase me. I scream at the top of my lungs and put some pep in
yeah, all that little trying to be brave and all that. It's all right to be scary, bro. It's all right to be scary. Being scared will save your life. I don't know why people be acting like it's a bad thing to be scary. You know, I be scared in a lot of situations. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm cool. Being scared to save your life. All the little you know what I'm saying? F all that trying to be brave. It's a lot of brave people in the graveyard. What little bro finna do? I'm not afraid. I'm brave. All right, gonna take your little self up in that house and do some things to you. Just keep it in G. It's better. It's better for you to run, little guy. It's better for you to run. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it in G with you, bro. Being scared can save your life. F all that brave jump. You know what I'm saying? F all that brave jump, bro. Brave overrated. Scared away. Scared to move, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Down the steps and starts to chase me. I scream at the top of my lungs and put some pep in my step and start to run. It seemed like I wasn't running fast enough. Whoever was chasing me was gaining on me. The person was seemingly a dude, judging by the voice, and he was yelling things at me that made absolutely zero sense at all. I knew I had to hide somewhere, and quick. So I ducked into an alleyway and hid behind a dumpster that smelled horrible, trying not to make any sudden noise that would help this crazy person find me and potentially hurt me. I could hear his footsteps stop by the alleyway, and I could also hear him mumbling words to himself as he walked closer to the dumpster I was crouching behind. My heart was leaping out of my chest, and I was praying that he wouldn't peek behind the dumpster and find me. I could literally hear his breathing to the point that I felt like he was going to find where I was hiding. But then I suddenly heard his footsteps running away from the alleyway. I remained crouched on the ground as I collected myself and wanted to make sure that the man was truly gone. Once I felt like the coast was clear, I ran the rest of the way home, and as soon as I entered, I told my parents what happened, and my dad decided to call the police. They arrived at our house in 20 minutes, and they had me explain what exactly happened and which house that man came from to chase me. Once they had that information, they let me and my parents know they would give us an update the next day. They stood by their words and came to find out nobody lived in that house. It had been vacant for years, which didn't make any sense. The police suggested that a homeless man or squatter most likely stayed in that house and for whatever reason decided he wanted to scare me. Nothing was done after that, and when I told my friends, even they were in shock and disbelief. Thanks to that day, I still get scared whenever I pass a house that looks creepy or abandoned. Even with me being 22 now, that day is still fresh in my brain.
Oh, it's crazy, man. Crazy.
I come from a rural area in Poland. My country is still very much Christian, so Halloween isn't really widely celebrated.
Dang.
Many older people perceive it as satanic.
So I'm saying, yeah, bro, is that crazy? Y'all, I was just speaking about that in the beginning. And that's like man-made thinking. Like, God don't speak about that in the word, and I read the word, bro. That's just man-made. Like, God tells us about that, like man-made rules. You know what I'm saying? God don't speak about Halloween. Speak against Halloween. Speak against idolatry, witchcraft, and whatnot. We not doing no witchcraft, idolatry, bro. No, we ain't doing that such thing, bro. It's man-made things, human rules, bro. They try to put on you. Or you're a Christian, you shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. God ain't say it, so if God ain't say it, how I live my life is if God ain't say it, I ain't doing nothing wrong then. You know, if it was wrong, God will put it in that word. It'll be in that word. I live by the word. I live by the word rules, not man. You know what I'm saying? I live with whatever in that word it says in that word. That's what I live by. God ain't say none that he has something going against Halloween. Name me a scripture where it says, "You thou shalt not celebrate Halloween." If you celebrate Halloween, you shall go to hell. I want you to name the scripture where God say that. I seen we said something about witchcraft. I seen we said something about that. Idolatry, you know, praising other gods. I seen we said stuff about that, you know what I mean? Like Paul and John and all them other apostles preaching about such things, but I ain't seen nothing about you can't celebrate Halloween or Christmas. Them are man-made rules that y'all following. You know what I mean? And please don't try to tell me about the word. I read the whole word. I read the whole Old Testament, bro. I'm in the New Testament now. You know what I'm saying? Now I read the whole freaking, let me go and say that. I read the whole Old Testament. I'm in the New Testament. You know what I mean? So I know the word from top to bottom. Still learning the word though. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't seen nothing about Halloween. I ain't seen nothing about we can't celebrate Christmas. I ain't seen no we can't celebrate Thanksgiving. That is human man-made rules. Christians, you came up with that on your own. You made up that Halloween is satanic. God did not say Halloween is satanic. Jesus Christ did not say Halloween is satanic. You said that. You made it up in your dang mind that Halloween is satanic. What made you feel like Halloween is satanic? Because what? Kids dressing around in scary costumes, bro, and trick-or-treating? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Just kids being kids, gang. You know what I'm saying? You thinking too deep and you just trying to put rules on other people. The way you feel, you trying to make other people feel the same way. You ain't God, bro. You're not Jesus. So if God and Jesus ain't said, forget what you saying. Forget what you saying, homie. Just keeping it G. So in the word, I did not see that. So hey, guess what? I will celebrate Halloween, bro. Because I know why I'm celebrating it. I'm not being satanic. My kids not being satanic. All I'm letting my kids do is dress up in their favorite. You got kids dressing up in Spider-Man costumes. Kids not just dressing up in scary costumes. You got kids dressing up as all other type of costumes, bro. It's just literally Halloween. The reality of Halloween is literally just kids dressing up in costumes and freaking trick-or-treating. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that do some weird stuff on Halloween and all that. That's them though. Mainly, Halloween is about trick-or-treating, bro, and kids, bro. That is a kid holiday for real, for real. But me, on Halloween, I like Halloween. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy me a whole bag of freaking candy and watch some freaking scary movies. I got Disney Plus. I'll probably go watch some Hey Jesse. Oh, I'll probably go watch some old Disney Channel shows. That's satanic. You know what I mean? Just keeping it G with you, bro. You feel me? So stop trying to put man-made rules on people. But the way you think isn't reality. It's fake. It's not real, gang. That's all I be trying to say. It's crazy that he said this when I just brought this up in the beginning of the video. You Christians that think like that, bro, you're not right. You don't think reality. Not what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you just putting your thoughts and trying to make other people. Yeah, it's not what it is.
Nowadays, many decorate their porches with stacked pumpkins. Some surprisingly made into jack-o'-lanterns, even in the countryside. At that time, I had a habit of taking my dog Susie for a walk each evening.
I'm saying Christians, bro, there's no problem with having fun,
on the larger side, and going out with her during the day was literally a nightmare.
I'm having fun.
She used to hate kids and cyclists, so she would bark all the time and try to bite them.
I'll beat the brakes on your dog.
It gets dark here pretty quickly, so 8 p.m. seems practically like the middle of the night. You can't see where you're going if there's no lanterns or street lights. That day, it was dark already, and so I went out with my dog. There's a small road that I really like going on. It leads from the village supermarket that's quite close to my house to a church. It's not very long. It takes you maybe 10 minutes on foot. On one side of the road there's a forest, and on the other side, a large horse stud. It's pretty obvious that at night the path was practically empty, and you rarely met anyone there. I used to love the autumn vibes. Cold breeze, crunching leaves under your feet, and the feeling of solitude were perfectly nostalgic. I was walking like that, lost in my thoughts. I was approaching the end of the road, where the forest met an old stable which belonged to the local parish priest.
Boy, y'all hitting them curves pretty fast.
It fell out of use many years ago, before I was even born.
Hey, you got me effed up thinking I'm finna go over there. Effed up. Think I'm finna go over me crazy. That don't even look right. Word to be easy. Know what I mean? So, yeah. No urban exploring, none of that. We ain't doing none of that.
At that point, I was jolted out of my thoughts by Susie, who suddenly started barking like crazy. I looked around, trying to see if maybe a cyclist or another dog was approaching, but then I realized she was only focused on the stable and the trees. I should mention it was very hard to see anything beyond the tree line, as the streetlights were very dim and old in that place. My dog was acting as if she had literally gone mad, barking, growling, pulling hard on the leash. It wasn't typical of her, even when a bike went right by. I looked into the trees, trying to see what caused her to act so unhinged, and then I saw it. Maybe 10 to 20 meters away, right behind the priest's stable, I could see the silhouette of a man. At first, I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. I thought it must have been a bush. But the closer I looked, I realized it was definitely a person. Judging by the way his clothes reflected the moonlight, he must have been wearing all white. He was kneeling with his back straight, not really hiding, but not exactly in plain sight either. This gave me chills. I realized he was wearing some kind of white robe. He wasn't moving at all, just looking in my direction. I pulled hard on the leash, trying to get Susie to move, but she was stubborn. I told myself there was no way I was staying there a second longer, so I grabbed her by the harness and took off rather quickly. I didn't want to run because I was still unsure if the man realized that I had seen him. Thankfully, the church was only a minute away, and I saw some people standing by it. For a moment, I contemplated telling them about the person, but what would I exactly say? That there was somebody sitting near the bushes? The rest of my way home had to be the most nerve-wracking walk of my life. Every couple of steps, I looked back to make sure no one was following me. Even my dog wasn't sniffing around anymore. She was just walking quickly straight ahead. I did get home without any further problems, but I wish I could say it was the end of my story. That night, I was woken up to multiple sirens wailing. They went off for a good half hour. The next morning, I saw in the local news that somebody had set the priest's stable on fire. People were saying that it was probably some drunk teenagers trying to play a prank and pull stupid tricks, but I knew damn well I hadn't seen giggling teenage boys the previous evening. The person I saw looked disturbingly calm, as if they were waiting for something. There could possibly have been more people hiding in the shed, but if so, I'm happy I didn't actually see them, or I might have had a panic attack. I really don't want to be the one contributing to the propaganda that Halloween is a satanic festival, but what I saw that night was really disturbing. A person wearing white robes, silently kneeling, just out of the reach of the streetlights. What bothers me most is that between the time I saw him and the time of the fire, at least 5 or 6 hours passed. Like, were they kneeling there the whole time? What on earth were they doing there for most of the night? However, I do feel very relieved that he didn't decide to follow or even acknowledge me that night, and that Susie didn't pull me even closer to him. If that person, or rather those people, were willing to set the whole building on fire, I don't want to know what else they were capable of doing.
See, stuff like that is what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. And yeah, that's a problem right there. That's a problem. You know what I mean? But we ain't doing stuff like that. We not setting.
October, I went
we
to a
we not setting.
patch
We not setting, bro, churches on fire and kneeling, bro, with a white, bro. We ain't doing that, Satan. No, we Christians over here. We ain't doing that. You feel me? Yeah, what they doing is wrong, but man, you know.
It was right after school, and the
We
air
ain't
was
doing
cold
that. Then
and
what's the
crisp.
problem?
The leaves were orange and yellow, and the ground was covered in fallen leaves. We had been looking forward to this all week. The patch was small but busy. Families were walking around.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just got in the mood for some pumpkin pie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why, bro. I just got in the mood. Y'all got a bad sweet tooth. That's one thing that I've realized about myself over the time. I got a bad sweet tooth. Y'all know I can eat a whole ice cream, bro. Like, not like a whole jug ice cream, but like I get like a, you know, them little ice creams from Publix, bro. I can eat that in a day. Just keep on eating it and eating it. Cause I only eat one time a day, so I ain't gonna lie, I be hungry. And I eat like, dang, I barely eat for real. You know what I mean? But bro, I can eat that whole ice cream junk in a day. Keep on eating and eating. My favorite ice cream flavor, bro, is I always get the strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Junk be busting. But I got a bad sweet tooth. My mama said I get it from my grandma. You know what I mean? Cause like, boy, it be some days, y'all, where I don't want to eat nothing but sweets. But I can control my sweet tooth, though. Like, I'm not just a nigga, so yeah, you know, I got a sweet tooth and I just, yeah, overly bear sweets. I don't just eat sweets heavily, like OD, heck no. But sometimes it be getting unbearable, and I'm feeling it right now. Right here, right that time. You know what I'm saying? But I got some strawberry cheesecake ice cream in that freezer, so better believe when I'm off of work, you know what I mean? We finna go grub a little something. It's getting done tonight. Oh yeah, it's getting going tonight. You are getting going tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I just got in the mood for some pumpkin pie, man. What's y'all favorite pie? You know what I mean? You know I'm pecan pie, man. Ain't no pie better than pecan pie. I don't want to hear it. If you have anything other than pecan pie, your opinion is irrelevant. Word up. You telling me pumpkin pie better than pecan pie? You gonna look at me and tell me that? Come on, bro. Sweet potato pie better than pecan pie, bro. Come on, man. We gonna do this. We all know if you a real nigga we already know. You know what I'm saying? Pecan pie, #1 on everybody's list. We knows that.
They were running with their parents.
Apple pie? Come on. I'm a pie dude. I ain't gonna lie. I like all pie. Apple pie, pecan pie. If it's a pie, chocolate pie, vanilla pie, I like pie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's one pie I don't like. I'm gonna keep it G. I ain't gonna lie. That my mama gave me this freaking one day my mama gave me this Jamaican pie. Like, bro, heck no. What type of pie that was? Other than that pie, you know what I'm saying?
The smell of baked goods from a small stand filled the air. We parked and grabbed a small wagon to carry our
pumpkin
pumpkins.
pie with that whipped cream.
There were rows of pumpkins everywhere, big and small. We walked down one row and found some nice pumpkins to pick. Everything felt normal at first. My friend Kevin dared me to pick the biggest pumpkin at the back of the patch, the one that was near a little wooded area. I laughed and agreed. The path to the pumpkin was narrow. The further we went, the fewer people we saw. The laughter and chatter from the main area faded behind us. I noticed the trees around us were thick, and the shadows were long in the late afternoon sunlight. The wind made the leaves rustle, and it sounded like whispers. I tried not to think about it. When we reached the pumpkins, I noticed something strange. Behind the pumpkins, near the trees, there was a figure. At first, I thought it was a scarecrow. It was standing very still with a hat on, and its arms were out like a cross. But then I realized it was too thin to be a scarecrow, and the hat moved slightly, like someone breathing under it. "Do you guys see that?" I whispered. Kevin turned and looked, but he shrugged. "Probably just a decoration," he said. I wasn't sure. I had a bad feeling in my stomach. I picked up the pumpkin quickly, trying not to stare. The figure didn't move from beyond the tree. It just stayed there. We started walking back to the main area, but I kept glancing over my shoulder. The figure seemed closer. I couldn't tell if it was moving or if my eyes were playing tricks on me. Kevin noticed I was acting weird. "Stop looking back," he said.
Kevin, bro, shut up, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, people like Kevin, I can't hang around people like Kevin. Like, people that's unaware. Like, I can't hang around people like that. Like, bro, I know I'm not tripping, bro. Like, bro, I would have told Kevin, bro, can you shut up, gang? Like, bro, you see this? Like, bro, I'm not tripping, bro. I can't stand with somebody try to make me seem like I'm tripping just because you unaware. You know what I'm saying? You unaware. I can't hang around people like that, bro. It's unaware. They surround us. They think everything a joke. Just stop looking back, bro. Shut up, gang. What you mean stop looking back, bro? This junk just came closer, gang. Freak is wrong with you? You know what I mean? How about that? How about you just stay over here and I'm gonna leave the pumpkin patch immediately. You know what I mean? I ain't finna stay and do no pumpkin patches when I got this little scarecrow right here. Look like he getting closer to me, gang. And he talking about, bro, stop looking back, bro. What, you something to do with this, Kevin, or something? I'm starting to think Kevin gonna set me up or something. Stop looking back, Kevin. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You with the scarecrow, nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's how I start thinking, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Laughing. I didn't want to. Something about it made my skin crawl. When we reached the edge of the pumpkin rows, I turned to get one last look. The figure was gone. I felt a small sense of relief, thinking maybe it was just a person walking behind the trees or someone's costume. We headed toward the stand to pay for our pumpkins. The path was slightly darker now. The sun was almost gone, and the shadows were thick. As we passed the wooded area again, I heard a crack. It sounded like a branch snapping. Kevin didn't hear it. I stopped and said, "Did you hear that?" Kevin shook his head. I turned slowly, and my heart stopped. The figure was there again, about 10 feet behind us. No arms out this time, it was just standing. Kevin noticed I stopped moving and asked what's wrong. I tried to speak, but my throat felt dry. The figure started to tilt its head like it was studying us. Then, seemingly without moving its legs, it started to move forward.
What?
It didn't even look like it was walking normally. It looked more like it was gliding, almost floating over the leaves. I grabbed Kevin's arm and we ran toward the stand. Our pumpkins bounced in the wagon as we ran. I could hear leaves crunching behind us, faster than they should have if it was just walking. When we reached the main area, people were still there, laughing and eating. I looked back. The figure stopped at the edge of the pumpkin rows. It just stopped and watched. We paid for our pumpkins and got in the car as fast as we could. I didn't look back again. On the drive home, I told Kevin to promise me he didn't see anyone like that. He said he didn't, that he only saw the pumpkins and the trees.
What the what?
But I knew I hadn't imagined it. That night,
bro, is Kevin stupid? You know what I'm saying? I would have like, nigga would think I'm going crazy or something. I'm starting to think Kevin doing some pranks or something like. So you telling me you the only one seeing this? I'm the only one seeing this, nigga. Kevin talking about you don't see this nigga. I'm seeing this nigga clear as day. And yeah, I think, bro, I think you probably got some. I think bro probably smoking on some dopey dough or something. I'm thinking some dope. I'm saying some good thrax, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro talking about that nigga was gliding. Bro talking about he like he was walking. I think bro probably be smoking that dopey dog.
Sleep.
Kevin don't see it, so what? Nobody else see it but you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro want the dope.
In the trees, but I knew I hadn't imagined it.
I think you imagined it, jump, bro.
I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that damn figure standing there. I couldn't stop thinking about the way it moved, the way it looked like it glided. I tried to convince myself it was a Halloween prank, but it didn't feel like a joke. That was a family-friendly pumpkin patch, and that would be way too scary for little kids. A few days later, I read online that someone had reported seeing a strange person in a costume at the same pumpkin patch.
So he ain't a man.
They said it was late afternoon near the trees, and the person didn't speak or move like a normal person. The story didn't give names or faces, just the report. I haven't gone back to that patch since. Every October when the leaves start falling and the air gets cold, I remember that figure. I remember the way it moved. And I remember thinking, if it had wanted to, it could have followed us all the way to the car. I still don't fully have an explanation for it. I tell this story to friends, but most think I'm exaggerating. I'm not, and I could still picture it standing behind those trees, watching us.
I don't, that's what I say. That's why I don't tell people nothing. Like, I ain't got time for people. That don't make me mad, bro. I ain't got time for people, bro, to think of somebody lying. It's like people think too highly of themselves. Like, who is you for me to lie, bro? Lie to, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got people that just be lying about certain things, but bro, I ain't no liar, bro. You feel me? Like, one thing about me, I ain't no liar, bro. You feel me? So if I tell you something real talk, bro, that's just what it is, bro. You feel me? But folks be just thinking they just like, bro, ain't nobody lying to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is your boy, man, Jay, man. Take it easy before you end up like Beezy. Y'all tell me how you feel about this, man. In the comment section down below. Boys, out, man, gang.